You're staring at a decision. Your gut is screaming, "This feels right." But your logical brain is calmly laying out a spreadsheet of reasons why it's a terrible idea. And so you're stuck, frozen, caught in a mental war between what feels true and what seems smart. Now, what if I told you that every single thing you're doing to try and solve this is making it worse? Look, that feeling of being completely paralyzed is one of the most exhausting things in the world. You trust your brain, but you can't ignore your gut. So you just spin in circles, second-guessing everything, replaying every possible outcome until you're too tired to even make a choice. But the key to breaking free comes from the work of a Nobel Prize-winning psychologist named Daniel Kahneman in his legendary book, Thinking, Fast and Slow. So I went deep into that book and distilled its core genius into a simple playbook. So you're stuck in that mental tug-of-war. Your gut says one thing, your brain says another. And your natural instinct is to try and think your way out of it, to make a longer pro-con list, to research more, to just think harder. But here's the big revelation, the idea that changes the entire game. The reason you're stuck is because you think you're in a fair fight. You're not. Your gut is cheating. It's playing a totally different, emotionally biased game. And your brain is so lazy that it usually just lets it happen. Trying to out-logic your gut is a losing battle. The only way to win is to stop being a player and start being a referee. A referee who knows the players, knows the rules, and knows exactly which cheats to look for. So first, let's meet the two characters living in your head. On one side, you have your gut. Daniel Kahneman calls this System 1. This is your fast, automatic, emotional pilot. It's the part of you that instantly knows the answer to 2 + 2. It's what finishes the phrase, bread and butter. It's what lets you see a person's face and immediately know they're angry. You don't have to think. It just happens. Your gut is a brilliant storyteller and pattern matcher. It makes thousands of decisions for you every day on autopilot. But it has a huge flaw. It's impulsive, it hates effort, and it will always jump to the easiest, most comfortable conclusion, even if it's completely wrong. Think of it as a brilliant but dramatic hero who shoots first and asks questions later. Then, on the other side, you have your brain. Kahneman calls this System 2. This is your slow, logical, analytical supercomputer. It's the part of you that turns on when I ask you to solve 17 × 24. Feel that? That little moment of tension, the need to focus? That is your brain kicking into gear. It's incredibly powerful, but it is also incredibly lazy. It takes real energy to use it. Your muscles might tense, your pupils literally dilate. It's a gas guzzler. And given the choice, your brain would rather do nothing and just agree with whatever easy story the gut comes up with. And that is the source of all your overthinking. Your gut is always on, 24/7, screaming confident, easy, emotional answers at you. Your lazy brain is usually off and only wants to step in when it absolutely has to. That frozen feeling you get? That's the conflict. It's your gut offering up a simple answer that feels right, while some small part of your lazy brain senses that something is wrong, but it hasn't found the energy to do the hard work of figuring out what. So if the gut is a fast-talking cheat, how does it get away with it so often? It turns out it has a secret playbook with 3 powerful, illegal moves it uses to trick your lazy brain every single day. And once you learn to spot them, you can finally call a foul. All right, so now we know the players, the fast, emotional gut and the slow, lazy brain. To stop overthinking, you have to become the referee. And a referee's job is to know the rules and, more importantly, to spot the cheats. Your gut has a biased playbook it uses to hijack decisions, and it's built around 3 core illegal moves. Let's expose them. The first and most common cheat is the substitution trick. Your gut is terrible at answering hard questions, so it secretly swaps them for easy ones and hopes your lazy brain won't notice. For example, your brain is trying to answer a really hard question, like, is this a financially sound, long-term investment that aligns with my risk tolerance? That requires effort. Your gut can't do that. So it substitutes it with an incredibly easy question. Do I like this company's name? Or did my friend tell me a good story about this stock? In one famous experiment, students were asked a hard question. How happy are you with your life these days? But right before that, they were asked an easy question. How many dates have you been on recently? The students' answers to the dating question completely controlled their answers to the happiness question. Their gut didn't evaluate their entire life. It just substituted the hard question with an easy one. What's my mood about dating right now? And presented that feeling as the final answer. This happens to us all the time, creating a conflict between the real facts and what just feels right. The gut's second cheat is the availability trap. Your gut doesn't believe in statistics. It believes in good stories. It judges how likely something is based on how easily an example comes to mind. This is why we worry more about a shark attack at the beach than we do about the drive to the beach. Shark attacks are rare, but they make for a dramatic, memorable, highly available story in our minds. Car accidents are far more common, but they're boring statistics. When you're overthinking a decision, it's often because your gut has latched onto one vivid, scary, or exciting story, a news headline, a friend's one-in-a-million experience, and it's playing that story on a loop. Your logical brain is trying to look at the facts, but it can't compete with the emotional movie your gut is screening. And this brings us to the gut's superweapon, the one that causes the most paralysis, the loss aversion lock. To your gut, the pain of losing something is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the exact same thing. Think about it. If I offered you a coin flip where heads you win $150, but tails you lose $100, would you take it? Most people won't. Your brain knows it's a good bet, the odds are in your favor, but your gut feels the potential pain of losing that $100 way more intensely than the potential joy of the $150. This is why we get stuck. Your gut's fear of making the wrong choice and losing something, money, status, comfort, is so powerful it can veto even the most logical, beneficial decision. It locks you into the status quo because not choosing feels safer than choosing and losing. Okay, so that's the gut's playbook. It substitutes hard questions, gets trapped by good stories, and is terrified of loss. So how do you, the referee, fight back? You don't argue. You introduce a new set of rules that force your lazy brain to actually get on the field and play the game properly. Here are 3 simple rules. Rule number 1, ask the right question. When you feel stuck, you are almost certainly answering the wrong question. To counter the substitution trick, you have to pause and force clarity. Stop and ask yourself out loud, what is the hard question I am actually trying to answer here? Are you trying to decide which car is the safest, or which car your friends will think is cool? Are you trying to figure out which job has the best 5-year growth plan, or which one has the easiest commute next week? Just stating the real question out loud often breaks the spell and forces your logical brain to engage. Rule number 2, find the base rate. To escape the availability trap, you need to deliberately ignore the vivid story in your head and find the boring statistic. This is called looking for the base rate, or the outside view. Instead of thinking about your one friend whose business failed, find the real statistic. What percentage of businesses like this succeed in their first 5 years? Instead of replaying the scary news story about a flight, look up the actual number. How many millions of flights landed safely yesterday? The boring data is the perfect antidote to your gut's emotional drama. And finally, rule number 3, reframe the loss. To break the loss aversion lock, you have to trick your gut by changing the frame of the decision. When you're afraid of giving something up, ask yourself this magic question. If I didn't already have this, how much would I be willing to pay or work to get it today? If you're hesitating to sell a stock that's gone down, ask, if I had this cash in my hand right now, would I buy this exact stock today? If you're staying in a job you dislike, ask, if I were unemployed, would I fight to get this exact job? This simple reframe neutralizes the fear of loss and lets your brain see the situation for what it truly is, not what your gut feels it is. These 3 rules, asking the right question, finding the base rate, and reframing the loss, aren't about overpowering your gut. They are a clever set of tools to wake up your lazy brain and get it to do its job. So here is your first tiny action. Your mission for this week is not to make a perfect decision. It's much simpler than that. The next time you feel yourself starting to overthink, just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself one simple question. Which cheat is my gut trying to pull on me right now? Is it substituting a hard question? Is it trapped by a vivid story? Is it just terrified of a loss? You don't even have to solve it. Just identifying the move is the first and most powerful step to winning the game. Because, in the end, stopping overthinking isn't about finding the right answer. It's about running the right process. If this video helped you see your own thinking in a new light, do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe for more insights into how your mind works.